Our Cronkite News team is investigating the numbers and digging into the gun sales and federal background checks in our state. Reporter Jasmine Spearing-Bowen joins us now in the broadcast center.
No permits are required to purchase or own a firearm in Arizona. And although background checks are required to buy a gun from a federally licensed dealer, no such checks are required for person-to-person sales. Every mass shooting, from Sutherland Springs in Texas this week to Newtown, Connecticut 5 years ago, brings the same calls for stricter gun regulations.
The most severely injured that we got were 3 children that we took to the operating room immediately and 1 adult, and all had multiple gunshot wounds.
In the blink of an eye, your whole life can change. Here it is, 26 little kids gone.
Arizona has some of the least restrictive gun laws in the country, with no permit required to own a gun and background checks only required for guns bought from federally licensed dealers, not through private sales. State Representative Randy Freese is a trauma surgeon and worked on Representative Gabby Giffords after the 2011 shooting in Tucson. He has introduced several firearm safety bills, including one for comprehensive background checks on all gun sales, but none have passed.
About 40% or so purchases in Arizona of weapons is done without a background check through personal, person-to-person sales, things like that, or even at gun shows where if you're not a federally licensed dealer, you're not required to do the background check.
Federally licensed dealers are required to run background checks through the National Instant Criminal Background Check System on anyone purchasing a firearm since 1998. More than 111 million background checks were performed nationally through 2016 by the FBI. 1.3 million of those were denied, according to a 2016 FBI report. Charles Heller is part of the Arizona Citizens Defense League, which works to strengthen Second Amendment rights through legislation.
Generally speaking, it's a lot easier for most people to own a firearm than most people in the country who don't own firearms think it is. And the vast majority of them are law-abiding.
Heller said the recent mass shooting in Las Vegas proves that background checks don't prevent crimes.
If you look at all the major mass shootings, the criminals either bypassed the background check or passed it before they committed the crimes.
Freese said he will continue to push for new gun safety measures.
Sitting back and saying we can't do anything about it is not acceptable. It's simply not acceptable when people are dying.
There is no way for Arizonans to really know how many guns are in the state because there is no requirement to disclose certain sales. Freese estimates that 40% of gun sales in Arizona are never recorded. For our full multimedia investigative report on Arizona's gun sales and statistics, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org. Jasmine Spearing-Bowen, Cronkite News.